And this matter comes before the court today on the respondent, Miss Ranger's motion to terminate a personal protective order that I granted on May 22nd of this year. As an initial matter, I will what I will do is I will swear each party in and verify what they say in their documents and ask any questions that I have, allow you to make any statements that you think are important, and then I can make a ruling on whether the order shall remain in place or not. So I guess, Ms. Ranger, this is your motion to terminate, so I'll swear you in first. If you would please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. And would you please state and spell your full name for the record?
Crystal, Cristal, Ranger, Ranger.
All right. And Ms. Ranger, you say here that you would like me to terminate the order because the accusations stated by the petitioner are erroneous. Are you saying that every single, I did read through petitioner's um, uh, petition again here and noted that she did, have several pages of incidents that she um, cites, and she only has to prove two of those. Are you disputing every single one of them as being untrue?
I am. I have plenty of documentation that proves that what she is saying are both erroneous and that this is out of retaliation. I am able to get that all for you. I have witnesses that are willing to come to court as well.
Okay, well, what we would have to do in that case is schedule a separate evidentiary hearing because I don't have time to do that today. I just have time
That
to
would be great.
go over the events. Well, and I guess, as I look at this, there are two sets of incidents, some of them dating from 2024, some from 2026. I will say that what I do in these is I look to the most recent incidents and I say, is that enough? Are there two unconsented contacts that would rise to the level? She claims that you engaged in name calling. I'm not certain if it was, on the telephone or text, but calling her an effing cunt, ugly and stupid. You're denying that you did that?
I am.
Okay.
She has no proof that I did that. The date that she said that I did that, I was at an event with people, so she cannot prove that.
Okay. And
She
she
does
dates
not
that
have records.
May
I have my
15th, I
phone
think.
records, I have everything. So that's inaccurate. I did
Okay.
speak to her that day prior, but she called the office that I work at multiple times. We blocked her from the phone. And that is not the only way that she can contact Troy, who is the person she says she's trying to contact. He has a cell phone and he has email. She did not need to contact the office that she knew that I was there at.
Okay, and there's another statement. I believe these are both cited as being from May 15th of 2026. It's look outside your window, fat, cunt again. You didn't
I
make that
never
statement
said
either?
that
Okay,
ever.
all right. No, okay, that's fair. And those were the two, as I'm looking through here. And did you
I
not,
did
she
call
also,
her names when she called the office. I will not lie about that. I did call her names when she called me names and she said, "You're not a nurse, you're not this, you're not that. How do you've never seen me. The woman's never seen me in person. She has no clue who I am."
did you
So
make,
she's doing fraudulent activity and she is taking it out on me because I'm providing and helping somebody with that situation. So,
okay, well, and I assume this is the somebody is this Troy, who's the
yes,
accountant that you work for. What's your job at the CPA office?
I'm helping out there. I'm a nurse
Okay, a nurse working at the CPA office. Okay,
because he lost his staff. Yes.
I see. Okay, and she also alleges on that same date, on or about May 15th of this year, 16 calls with 8 voicemails in an 11-minute span. Did you do that?
I did not. Which she says that in a paper and says that there's proof, but there's no proof. I would love to see that because
Okay, well,
I
I'm
haven't
gonna
been
turn to
provided
her next.
anything that shows any of this. As a matter of fact, the day that I was served the subpoena, I started receiving calls from her. It would be, I guess, her daughter-in-law, her son's girlfriend. That same girl started messaging Troy, which I have all the messages. I have Naomi's messages to Troy showing that she knew that that was happening. Naomi has threatened me with a gun. Now her son has, oh, they carry heavy, is what they say. Naomi's comments in her text messages, which I have copies of. I have them today. I printed it all out. So, and once I blocked her, you can see on an iPhone that I've blocked her. I've never called her phone since then. When I did my police report that Friday night, I also provided all of that to the police officer and I have the case number. She knows that her son, she's alleging that I called on her son for growing marijuana in a home that Troy owns. And I never called. I didn't even know you could call on that. I don't have time for that. I have a life. She is not part of my life. I want to be left alone. I filed for a PPO the same day. I ended up not pushing that matter because Troy asked me not to quote poke the bear because she owes him like 240,000 and she's trying to get away with not paying it back.
Okay,
And she's mad because he evicted him. She also alleges I signed an eviction report that as an erroneous person, Emma D, which is not the fact. There's an Emma that works at the office, and her name's not Emma D. If she read it, she would know. I had no part in that. I wasn't even working that day. That was
all right.
Troy and Emma.
Yeah,
So
now
she says
you're,
a lot of things, but she has no proof. She says a lot of things and
well, I'm gonna swear
then
her
says
in just
nothing.
like I swore you, and then I will take, her statements, and then I'll have to evaluate best I can anyways, what is true and if there's a basis for this order or not. You said you were doing something different on May 15th, 2026, so you wouldn't have engaged in these activities. What were you doing that day?
I was with friends and family that day, and all of them are willing to come and tell you that they were with me and they know that I did not call her.
So you're
Whomever called her, maybe her daughter-in-law and her staged this. I have no idea what's going on, but it wasn't me that called her. I spoke to her earlier that day when she called the office,
okay. So in
but
other
I did
words,
not call her that evening.
during the workday, you may have had contact with her when
Correct.
she called the
Already
office.
spoke to a cop. It's in the police report. I told him, yes, I did say things that were unkind. That doesn't have a reason to say. I never threatened her one time whatsoever. Also, have people that were present there. Three different people were there when that call was received, all of which will tell you I did not threaten her. If I called her names back in response to her calling me a name, that's not illegal. Then don't call
That's
the
true.
office
If
I'm
there's
working at.
yeah, if there's a kind of a
It's
response
pretty
thing that,
simple.
yeah, that generally is not.
If she does, she'll call the office. If we don't answer, we blocked her from all the phones. We didn't realize we had to block her from every single individual phone. So now we blocked her from every phone. Troy does have to deal with her because she owes him a ton of money. I mean, she had him get a loan on his paid for home to pay for this house that her son's dealing drugs out of. So of course she's gonna.
Okay.
So
Now, she
yes,
she claims that she's been a consultant for Mr. Ginzer. How long have you worked for Mr. Ginzer?
me,
Yes,
I have been there helping him since April.
just April of this year, so April
Hmm.
26th.
Yep.
Okay. And I think she says the relationship goes before that, well, and she says there are some things that happened between the two of you in 2024. Why would you have any contact with her in 2024?
So 2024, so Troy, prior to this, the reason I'm helping Troy is because Troy and I started dating in um 2020, as the end of
Okay.
2020. And so then in 2024, she was messaging him inappropriate messages and I told her to stop. That's when she threatened me with a gun. Then I said I was going to call the cops. I didn't. Again, he asked me not to. And then she ended up calling the cops, where I provided all of that information. I was told to get a PPO at that time from that cop. I didn't hear from her for forever. Well, then Troy and I were arguing 2 years ago, and he and her called me three way. And yes, I did call her names when she called me names.
This is
But
in the
aside from that, no, I've
2024.
never reached out to her. I've never called her. I can provide phone records that prove that.
Okay. And from your perspective, she owes Troy money because of business or personal dealings
No,
that are
yeah, it's
separate?
personal. But she's
Personal
mad
dealings.
because she
Okay.
says that I'm the reason that he's pushing the fact that it gets done. She's been, it's not, it's that he asked me, how do I do this? Who do I contact? What do I do? I gave him the information. So she says that every email that's being sent is me, which it's not.
Okay. Well, and I mean, but you're saying the CPA is asking you, the assistant nurse, advice for how to go through financial stuff in an
Yes.
eviction? Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I ran businesses prior to all of this. My ex-husband and I owned businesses, so I have experience in this. We're all I'm a landlord as well, so I also know how to do all of that. I have
Okay.
2 homes and I rent one of them. So
Okay.
yes, I do know how to do all of this.
Okay, I see. And in your perception, does she form, since you've been working in the business of Mr. Ginzer, does the petitioner here, Miss Riley, do any consulting ongoing currently for Mr. Ginzer?
She's finished. There's nothing that is new. He doesn't want her in a part of his business moving forward. He sent her an email stating that, but she does have work that she has to finish up, of course.
And what kind of work is that?
She's doing some ERC credits and other credits that she does.
And what are ERC credits?
She can explain that to you. I don't do that work.
Okay, all right. So she's doing that. And as far as you know, there's at least some, no new work going her way, but
Hmm.
some leftover projects to finish up that she's been doing in a consulting capacity with the business.
Hmm.
Okay, all right. But nonetheless, the business now has blocked her from access on every phone. I mean, it seems like a poor business decision, but
She can reach him
nonetheless,
on email.
okay, all
She
right.
doesn't need to call the office. She doesn't need anything from us.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, anything you want to, I mean, I think I've gotten your perspective,
Mhm.
Ms. Ranger. I was going to go to Ms. Riley next, and if I need any further clarification, I'll come back to you afterwards.
Okay.
But I'll go to Ms. Riley now. So, all right, Ms. Riley, if you'd please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Very good. And would you please state and spell your full name for the record?
Naomi Riley, Naomi Riley.
Thank you, Miss Riley. And Miss Riley, you do make these allegations, and as I said, when I review these four PPOs, typically I look at the more recent conduct. I guess it's hard for me to, for example, the whole thing was based on 2024 stuff. I say, well,
Mhm.
if you've been doing okay for 2 years, what changed? But in your case, you said, okay, some stuff did change. So I'm going to start with the newer stuff and then
Yes,
work our way back to the older stuff if needed. So,
sure.
um, and you're alleging that this started on or about May 15th of this year.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I do have copies of the recordings to give you. And I am able to supply all the copies of the text messages. I've never reached out to Crystal one time. This has all been, she has always came at me. Troy Genzer, again, he disclosed my financial information to her in 2023. And I think that really provoked her. Um, you know, when I see Troy and I have been friends for about 9 years, and I've assisted his business with tax credits and have done the work. And yes, Crystal's right. We do have a few clients we need to finish up with.
What are
How,
ERC tax credits, just for my edification?
yeah, employer retention tax credit, and then I was also doing the restaurant tip credit for businesses.
Okay. And that's
So
just his accounting practice.
yes, yes. So I've helped his clients. And then we had a few clients where I helped do their books for nonprofit filing statuses.
Okay. What about the, the allegation that there's some sort of entanglement regarding the house and your son and those things? What's that
Yeah.
referring to?
Yeah. So the government went on shutdown in 2024, and the program was suspended for a while, and my income kind of went flat. And Troy came in and helped me uh, just keep the house uh, up. He did take out a home equity loan to make sure that we could still have the house. My son and his girlfriend live in there. They do not deal drugs. At one point, they were growing with a license for. He was a caregiver for medical people, and he was all licensed and everything. But that didn't work out because the energy costs were too much. And so he ended up stopping that. He's just a Uber driver now. But with that said, we co-own the house together. The home is in my family trust name, which Troy signed over. The idea was is I will sell my condo and we'll take the proceeds from that to pay off the house if my condo were to sell first. We were going to put up ripens as well. I want to get that deal just taken care of as much as possible. Troy is not. He's one that helps out many people with financials if they need it. So I've seen him do that for countless clients and business owners. So that is one portion of what is going on. And I think it might be a bigger portion. I think he's told me too that, we want to get this taken care of as soon as possible.
It's
And
viewed as, those are, are there, documentation of the loans, et cetera, loan
yes.
agreements and things of that nature out there. I mean, it's more or less a business type relationship.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. My family trust was supposed to assume the loan, but the bank has stopped. And now the bank has said, no, we don't do a loan assumption. So we have to go in and refi it. So we're in the process of trying to do that at this point. But I've told Troy, if we can't get it done, then we'll just sell it. That is, that's not that big of a deal, but that's not why I'm here.
Right. No, I think I'm just trying to get a context of the background of what's going on here.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I guess I do have that a little bit now. And well, let's, and you say you've got copies of these voicemails. Can you play them on this hearing?
Yeah. Well, I can put them in the chat because they're on my Dropbox. And
Okay.
so if you click on the Dropbox, you're able to see why I requested this PPO. Can you enable the chat?
No, I can't because the state court administrator told us not to do stuff via chat because it doesn't become a part of the record of the case. Can you project your Dropbox onto the screen for me?
Ooh, how do I do that?
Well, another option here, I sometimes as computer savvy people have been able to project images and text messages, stuff of that nature onto the screen, but not
Yeah.
everyone can. I couldn't if there was a life
Yes,
death scenario. I couldn't do it. So
yeah, I think I can. Just 1 second. So start share. Zoom. Dropbox right here. All right, are you able to see these?
I am not, unfortunately.
Okay, just 1 second. Let me see if I can do it now. Stop video. Start share. Share camera. No. I need to press pause. Yes, 1 second. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it flashed up there for a second like it was going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here is my Zoom room. Share. Um, okay, so you're not allowed to get them in the chat, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it would have to
Okay.
be a shared screen is the way
Okay.
that I can get it.
Okay. I think right here, if I do this.
Well, another thing that occurs to me is I have a fairly limited amount of time set aside for this afternoon. Another way that we can do it is we could reconvene. We could do that in the courtroom where it's somewhat easier to present material like that, or we can
Yeah.
also do it on Zoom and both sides can present evidence because Ms. Ranger indicated that she has some evidence that she'd be able to present as well. I went to you first because, of course, as the petitioner here, you do have the burden of proof of showing this. Why don't you summarize for me? If I were able to look in that Dropbox, are these printouts
Oh,
of voice messages? What are they recordings from
oh,
songs? What do you have?
yes. There's text messages, voicemails, tons of here, I'll just read them to you. Um, this was after, if you want me to go back, I can give you the ones that were before the PPO was issued, to the ones to everything that's been happening since the PPO was issued.
Let's do the ones before because those are the ones that are the basis for the PPO.
Yes, okay. So, all right. I wonder if this will share, but it's so loud. Are you able to hear this?
I am not.
Okay.
No, and the
Okay.
technology, it
I know
it
it's
is.
so hard.
Well, and yeah, I'd be the first to say that's not an expectation I have of. It
Yeah.
makes life easier in some respects if everyone knows how to
Yes.
use it, but it doesn't happen by any means every time, and not with the lawyers that appear in front of me either.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
So there's several voicemails that I have from her, and that happened on that day. And I can tell you, I have never threatened this woman with a gun or anything. Yes, I carry, but I want to protect myself. I don't want to be called, 16 times in one night. I don't want to be called names. I don't want to be told, look outside your window when I have grandkids over and kids over. I have all those voicemails, and voicemails don't lie. In fact, Troy was in one of those voicemails. She would star 6 7, and I'm like, this is absolutely absurd. This is, something that, Troy and I were supposed to work out financial wise, and it's just blown way up. However, she did do this to me in 2023, 24, and I'm done. I don't want to be bothered or anything with this anymore.
what about her statements when she testified today that some of this was initiated by you and that you started the call or the name calling or whatever occurred? Is there a truth to that?
No, there is none. There
Okay.
is none.
You may have called Troy's office related to the business matter, but you weren't calling to call her names or attack her, or for that matter, to attack Troy at the time.
Absolutely not. And we actually have two other clients that we're still working with. So,
Wouldn't
yeah,
make sense financially for you to be super
yeah,
adverse
yeah.
to Mr. Ginzer. Okay, all right. Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to take the evidence just because of time and technology limitations here. What I'm going to have to do then is continue this hearing. Clearly,
Okay.
there's a factual dispute here, in that on one hand, Ms. Riley is saying these harassing, threatening comments occurred, and Ms. Ranger has testified under oath today that they did not occur, other than some mutual kind of what I'll say is back and forth name calling, which is contrary to, again, Miss Riley's testimony. So we have a dispute,
Right.
in the facts. So what I need to do is we'll schedule this.
Yes.
I think we could probably get it done within the context of an hour to 2 hour hearing in court. I think I'm going to schedule it in the courtroom just so we're
Okay.
not flummoxed by the technology going forward.
Yeah. Yep.
Unfortunately, that means it may take a little bit longer to get the hearing in. And this is also compounded by the fact that I and probably 3/4 of West Michigan are taking
Mhm.
vacation in July. So,
Right.
when's the next date we could give this a couple hours on a continued hearing, Lisa?
Can I look ahead and mail notice?
That
It
would
will
also be
probably be
fine. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
probably a civil
Unfortunately,
week.
yeah, could be as long as into August. I just know I've got 2 weeks off during July that are messing with my schedule entirely. So it could be August or even later by the time we get the hearing in, which means for practical purposes, the protective order is going to remain in place. Ms. Ranger, that does constrain you at this time from initiating contact.
I haven't contacted her.
Yes,
That's
no,
fine.
and that's we often say that really, protective orders just say to the respondent, to obey the law, and don't do stuff that you're not allowed to do. And fortunately, the two of you, I mean, there is this ongoing business relationship via Mr. Ginzer, but the two of you aren't neighbors or next to each other daily in the workspace. So I would say you'll have to obviously somehow accommodate the Miss Riley and Ginzer's business relationship, in one way, shape, or form.
I
But
don't work there. I just helped out while he needed help. And I'm actually not available till August either because I'm going to be gone and having surgery. So,
very good. Well, we'll then get we'll get a new date, and if the date doesn't work for either of you, you can reach out to the office and we can reschedule. We do that with very frequently on these matters. So just part of the deal. So, all right. Well, I thank you both for both your respectfulness and clarity today. That gives me great hope that we can get to at least some sort of reasonable resolution, in this case. It helps to have both people show up and to, state their positions clearly, because then I can at least understand what the conflict's about. So I'm grateful that you both behave such today, and I will see you next time.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I did find a date real quick.
Oh, thank you,
We could
Lisa.
do
Okay.
August 27 at 1:30 in person.
Is that
Okay.
Ms. Ranger?
Okay. Yeah.
August
Do we,
27th,
will our
1:30 p.m.
people, if we're bringing in witnesses, will they have to be there at that time too?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys will subpoena them? Do we have to get you their names?
Yeah, you'll have to issue the subpoenas, and you'll have to do that through the court if you want to do that. So you send the subpoenas in to me and I sign them, and then they go out if I deem them relevant to the case. And Miss Riley has the ability to object or, to the issuance of the subpoenas as well. There's a whole process, and it's laid out in the Michigan court rules. And of course, if either of you feel like you need a lawyer's assistance, that can happen, but it's at your cost. So,
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
very good. Thank you
Thank
both.
you.
Thank you.